Hello to my friends and family who are watching this. A lot of you have been asking me about what I've been up to. So I thought I would have a beer and let you guys know what I've been up to. So, in January I took off and I left Israel on January 11th and I landed in Cebu, Philippines on the 12th. So check it out. This was my crazy, amazing flight. Cathay Pacific business class because I had frequent flyer miles. And I got to stretch my legs out. It was great. Not my first time flying business, but my first time in a lounge like this. I mean, it was incredible. I had like a one-bedroom suite. I had an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Look at that crazy menu. I had Asian food and Western food, and it was all you can eat, and it was just awesome. It was really nice to be welcomed by a beautiful sunset as I arrived in the Philippines. And I'll tell you, it was different, right? So this is a typical street on a busy day in the Philippines. Tons of motorcycles everywhere as you're walking on the sidewalk, which exists and doesn't exist at the same time. There's not the greatest waste management out there, so you get scenes like this, which is kind of sad. But then you go to the malls, and it's this beautiful mall. It could be anywhere in the USA, right? It could be LA, Beverly Hills, whatever. These are gorgeous shopping centers that they've built. And I think one of the reasons they're super popular is they're very safe. But the Philippines are mostly pretty safe anyway. But they are air-conditioned. Big spaces where you can hang out, and it's air-conditioned. It was really crazy to be able to walk just a few minutes to get yourself from what is a really impoverished area, and then you're in some gorgeous shopping mall that's brand new, state-of-the-art. Could be anywhere in the US, UK, Paris, really. And I happened to land in Cebu a couple of days before the Sinulog festival. Right, Sinulog is this huge deal. They do it every year, and this was the first year they had done it in several years because of COVID. And just look at the amount of people. I mean, just masses and masses, just throngs of people from all over Cebu and around other parts of the Philippines just streamed in to Cebu City for this holiday. And it has to do a lot with the history of the Philippines and the bringing of Catholicism to the Philippines. And I don't know all the details of it, believe me, a lot of the Filipinos didn't know really all the details of exactly what Sinulog was about. And they play the same song in slightly different versions all day long. So every one of the, I love the drums, really love the drums. Every one of these processions that would come by was basically playing some version of this song. And they would say, "Viva Pit Señor." Viva Pit Señor, which is long live the baby Jesus, I think, something like that. And there's usually a small baby Jesus being carried around like this woman is carrying right now, holding them up as a symbol of the Catholicism coming to the Philippines.
And proudly shout, "Viva Pit Señor!"
Viva Pit Señor. There he is, right there. There's a big sculpture of the baby Jesus. But he's Filipino, you notice. He's not like the baby Jesus that you see in the West and whatever, because this is in the Philippines, right? And wow, wasn't it amazing that this whole thing is in English? Look at this. All the writing's in English and everything. So one of the things I love about the Philippines is that they speak English. It's like an official language out there. The islands have different dialects, right? So different island groups have similar dialects, Visayan is for the Visayas Islands, right? Tagalog is where where Manila is, and that's the dialect they speak there. But there's thousands of islands and different dialects. And while Tagalog was supposed to be the national language, it turns out that people speak more English than they do Tagalog throughout the Philippines, and so it's kind of an official language. So that made things actually really easy. That communication barrier that you sometimes have while traveling was just kind of gone. And that was really, really advantageous for me as a traveler, being able to meet people and communicate with them without that barrier. And Sinulog brings out just the fun and everything, right? People were really dancing. This is a group that was like finding like foreigners or whatever, and then doing like this crazy like dance thing along with these percussionists right next to them. So they'd like spot a foreigner and point at him and be like, "Come party with us," da da da. And then they would just kind of like swarm you with the mob. And yeah, look at that guy. That was me right there, just partying and dancing with these guys. The music is going off, and yeah, it was a good time. And everything was just like so happy on this day of Sinulog, man. People were just letting loose and having a great time. Maybe a little bit of drinky drink. Really a good time and fun vibes, like just all around. Really had a blast. But after walking for like 8 miles that day, definitely got a foot massage. Okay, so these are the first pictures that I shot when I was there, and I posted a bunch of these on my social media. But I feel like I got way better, right? And I started switching from stills to videos. So as this video goes on, you're gonna see how my skills have improved. But there's all kinds of crazy creatures in the Philippines. The diving is just incredible, right? I really was blessed to go and see all these amazing things. And I'm getting better and better at taking these shots, as you'll see in just a minute, right? So the stuff got better when I got to the island of Malapascua. You go to the northern tip of Cebu, and then you get on this ferry, and it brings you to Malapascua, right? And that's me playing with my drone. So look at this island. There's no cars allowed. It's only accessible by ferry. There's no bridge. You can walk across it in like 45 minutes or so. It is like an idyllic, beautiful, tropical paradise. Apparently there's like 6,000 residents, but I doubt they're all there at the same time, and that's got to include tourists. Because it's such a peaceful, tranquil, chill place. I had an absolute wonderful time there. I actually got sick with a bad case of bronchitis while I was out there. So I couldn't do a lot of diving, couldn't do a lot of anything. I was just, just laying around trying to recover for a couple of weeks while I was out there. But I really fell in love with this place, Malapascua, and I can't wait to go back. I just had a blast. And I got some really cool images there, like those shrimp, like this anemone, like this crab. Look at this guy. And my photography started getting a little better, and my videography started getting a little better once I got myself to Malapascua and was able to do a bit more. These little shrimp here are just awesome. I started messing around with some slow motion. I'm a real sucker for soft corals, and these big like anemones. I'm just a huge fan of these things. They're just beautiful. The ocean's just amazing. The reefs up there, some of them are just absolutely pristine. And kind of a magical place. I'm planning to go back there for like a month at some point. This is like some kind of weird anemone. I don't even know what it is, but my guide pointed it out to me, says, "Hey, take a picture of that." Saw my first seahorse. Look at this, and it was 2 of them hanging out. Was able to get close enough to like really see them up close, and on that same dive, saw a blue-ringed octopus. And when their rings are all big like that and all bright blue, it means they're not too happy, they're stressed out. I felt kind of bad, but I was just taking his picture. I wasn't really messing with them at all. And you can see they're sort of dying down now. The blue is not quite as bright and pronounced. And I'm just chilling out, taking some video, trying to get real close to see like how it works, how this thing works. It reminds me almost like a little elephant in a way. And then look, it just kind of walks along the ground, Octopus can swim, but this guy just kind of like walked along the ground, and it's a really rare creature, and just, had a few minutes with them. And they're just beautiful and rare, and apparently very poisonous, but we were at peace, there was no, there was no threat of any bites or anything like that. And what a cool little animal. It's about 6 inches across or so. And that was a real big highlight for me. Malapascua is famous for these guys, the thresher sharks. So about, I don't know, like an hour-long boat ride from the island is a cleaning station. And as you can see all those tiny little fish underneath the shark there? So they come in and they basically clean the big pelagic fish, like a thresher shark. They eat all the little pieces of barnacle or crud or whatever that is like attached itself to the shark, and the shark gets itself clean. So it just comes by. It's a beautiful symbiotic example of nature, and man, look at that tail. This guy circled around for like 5-6 minutes. I was just floating there taking his picture as he was getting clean, and or I didn't mean to gender him. Anyway, that was a huge highlight for me. Now this is a boat parade. Now you saw Sinulog parade earlier. On the island, they do a boat parade for Sinulog, and it comes 2 weeks after the main Sinulog celebration at Cebu City. So I got lucky, and Devotion Divers let me jump on their boat with them as they went around the island. And then later in the day, there was the celebration of Sinulog in the main gymnasium, like basketball court, where basically the whole town gathered. That's my new friend Joe Bett. He's a filmmaker who was out there doing a documentary, and yeah, it was awesome. Now back to the critters. Here's some examples of some really cool things that I saw while diving out there. That is a ghost pipefish, pretty rare, pretty neat creature. 2 of them. Look at that. Must be mating season. That is a stonefish. Look at that. You gotta appreciate the crazy camouflage there, right? These are leaf fish. They look like leaves. You can kind of make out a little eyeball, but can you believe that's a fish? What a weird looking thing. Pretty great camo. That's just a beautiful eel that I saw. He's hanging out. This is the biggest damn shrimp I have ever seen. It's a mantis shrimp. That little hole in the ground right there is about 8 inches across. Look at this thing. I got really close. It reminds me of like the Predator, you know, the Alien and Predator. What a creepy looking creature, I gotta tell you. Look, it's got like these hairs underneath it and stuff. Man, I never seen anything quite like it, and it was huge. That's a sea snake that apparently has venom powerful enough to kill a human. Supposedly this could kill you in an instant, but their bite isn't strong enough to really be anything to worry about, and we're not what they're hunting anyway. So this is something called a filter star. I just love them. I think they're beautiful. Gorgeous little crab hanging out on a coral. Decided to take his little picture there. I'm a sucker for these guys, the clownfish. They're so cute. That is a pretty neat looking pufferfish or a boxfish. Can't remember. I'm really terrible with fish ID, but I'm gonna get better. I love these anemone fish, right? These guys, the little clownfish are just guarding their anemone that hasn't opened up yet. I think it's like a flower and it's like going to eventually open up, but it's got just this tiny little bit and they're already guarding it. Man, turtles. There were some dives where we saw like 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 turtles. Turtles just everywhere all around the Philippines, and I love seeing them. They're a sign of a healthy reef, and man, they were everywhere. And just look how graceful they are. You know, these guys live like to old age, you know, 70, 80, even 100 years old. So this guy didn't appreciate that I was bothering him with my lights. I just wanted to come by and get a quick shot while he was munching. He was just hanging out there posing, and let me hover around and take some shots. There's some more of these cuties. Anytime I see them, I gotta take some video, and just looking for that perfect shot of these guys because I just think they're so cute. And I love their loyalty. This is another one of those anemones that hasn't opened up. No filter on this, that's just what it looks like. Yeah, this lionfish. My first encounters with lionfish were actually in the Caribbean where they're invasive, but out in Asia, lionfish exist and they're fine. You know, they're not a problem. There's a scaredy little crab. Here's another beautiful, beautiful turtle. Look at that shell. Wow. That is a pregnant ghost pipefish. So there's 2 of them. And look at that. Can you see the egg sac there? Man, I got a little better with this after this, but you know, once I wish I could shoot that now, I'd get it better. That is a nudibranch, like a really cool one. This is a frogfish. Look at this guy. Look at this thing. Tiny, it's about 2 inches, and he's spotted a shrimp and just swallowed him up. Look at this in slow motion. There's a tiny little glass shrimp right there. And boom, how it's done. Yeah, that's a boss. He knows what's up. Yeah, frogfish are amazing. That was my first frogfish ever. This is a cool little nudie crawling across like a pointed starfish. Here's 2 nudies about to hook up because it's that time of year. Oh, look at this. Yeah, another beautiful, beautiful lionfish. This is a pretty cool looking nudibranch. Looks like a centipede almost, right? Look at this skate. Look at this guy. He kind of spotted me, got afraid and ran away. That's pretty cool. I caught this gorgeous little shrimp hanging out. You don't see those very often, you know, it's a pretty rare one, I think. And it's just like a little rock with all these little creatures. Look at this, that same shrimp just hanging out on top of this beautiful eel, and kind of floating his way around. It's a beautiful little rock, and I was concentrating and taking all this video when my buddy Justin was like, dude, get over here. This is what you should be filming. So I got to meet the critter hunter while I was out there, and look at this. It shows me the flamboyant cuttlefish. This is just such a cool creature. And these are two of them on the hunt. Now, apparently one of them is hunting. That's the female. And the male is just kind of following behind, trying to get some. Apparently that is how it works with these guys. And they're beautiful. And so when they're on the hunt and when they're excited, they like change colors like that, apparently. When they're stimulated in some way. This guy's like clapping his hands like, let's go, let's go. And I think it finds something in a second here. Yeah, look at this guy. He's got like this, you know, crazy tongue that sticks out when they see something. So he's like gonna stick it out, look at that, and then whoosh, look at that, boom. And then there may be like 4 or 5 inches across, something like that. But look at those beautiful colors and the way that they're changing color. And no shrimp is safe with these guys about. I mean, look at this, look what happens. They found this leaf and they start like shaking up the leaf because they think there's something in there. And there probably is something in there that they're going after, right? So the little shrimp might have been hiding underneath there or something, but that is, you can run, but you can't hide. Look at them, they're going in there and just like popping their heads into this. Yeah, ruthless, man. Ruthless, savage little hunters, man. Real smart, crafty, and just bam, got whatever it wanted, shook the whole leaf up. Just huff and puff and blow the house down, you know? This is just maybe the most beautiful shrimp I've ever seen. Look at these guys. Look at that thing. How cool is that? Now, it did not like my light, and it ran away. What are you gonna do, you know? Some of the creatures are totally fine with the light, and some of them are not. I don't know what that thing is. That's a really cool looking eel, right? Leopard eel, is that what they call it? I don't know. Super chill, just sticking its head out. What a cool, fun crab. He's ready to throw down. He's like, what? What's up? Look at this crab hiding. Oh man, what a face on that one. I love it. Pufferfish. I did not do that to that puffer. Came to me that way, I swear. I mean, I really mean it. I did not do anything. I wouldn't do that. But it came to me all spiky. Wow. Yeah, this is a beautiful big cuttlefish. On a crazy night dive where we saw tons and tons of stuff, including that porcupine fish. Oh yeah, look at these nudies. Look, that was a huge one, 4, 5, 6 inches wide, something like that, or long. And then it's right next to this other one because it's mating season. And yeah, that's just how these nudies do, man. I interrupted something, I feel like. This is a tiny, tiny little one, maybe a centimeter across. There's a little squid, sees me, and phew, gone. Gorilla crab? Is that what they call this thing? Look at that. Is that crazy looking or what? I've never seen anything quite like it. Just running around. Great camouflage. Look at these tiny, tiny little shrimp. I don't know what they are. They remind me of like some kind of like a mantis, like a praying mantis looking. This is a beautiful nudibranch. I got real close and you can see the gills kind of going up and down. That's how they breathe, is through those little flowers on the back. Yeah, this thing is just so cool. I got it from the other side here. Real hard to maintain, you know, in this type of environment, but I got a good shot there. This is a crab that did not like seeing me, and he's out of there. Gorgeous little pink crab on this white coral, right? I don't know what it's called, but just beautiful. Look at this guy. Is that a crazy looking fish right there? So many of these things look like they're right out of Rick and Morty, don't they? Like, look at this guy, bobblehead squid. Look at him. He's going in, boom, boom, boom. And it's just his eyeballs sticking out. He's safe. Oh, this gorgeous shrimp. Look at that. Oh, this looks like an old man who's like embarrassed, ashamed of something. I am Groot. Yeah, look at that thing. I don't even know what it is. It's just this beautiful critter of the night. Pretty amazing. Look at this guy. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. I don't know what he's doing, but he's just spinning, 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 trying not to be somebody's lunch, and now he's out. I don't know what the hell this thing is. Look at that. And it's some kind of crab, and it froze when I got close, so okay. This is a beautiful kind of flatworm, nudie thing. Not exactly sure what it is, but it's beautiful. I got to read Justin's book. He's got all these nudies identified in there. This thing was gorgeous, and it's so neat to see it move. Tiny, tiny little nudie. Tiny, like less than a centimeter, this guy. There's two of them hooking up, because like I said, it's nudie mating season when I was there. So they're just knocking boots. I got these from a few different angles. I definitely was interrupting something. Look at this crazy crab. You ever seen any crab like this? Look at this guy. He's just hanging out. I mean, I never seen anything like that. And there's this shrimp that kind of comes up. Yeah, that was awesome. This is a beautiful nudie. Big one too. And yeah, it's just cruising. And it's just doom, like just a big lumbering thing trying to get through its difficult environment here. I don't know what that thing is, but it's kind of neat looking. This also, what the hell's going on? What is that? What is under there? I don't know. But it is moving pretty quick, you know? Look at this guy. Nobody's moving faster than this guy. This is not sped up. He is just chasing after me. He's very unhappy to see me. He's got his crazy house that looks like a, I don't know what. This thing is pretty cool. I don't know what it is either. This thing's awesome. I don't know what it is. I gotta learn my fish ID. I really do. Look at this starfish. I never seen anything like it before. It's like translucent. The texture of it's so weird. I couldn't quite figure out what it was exactly. This is a gorgeous kind of translucent shrimp here. Look at those little colors. It's a scorpion fish. Like a devil scorpion fish, I think they call it. You can kind of see why. I got him a little better right there. Look at that guy. Nuts. Crazy looking creature, but beautiful and neat. Don't touch. This, I don't know what this is, but it reminded me of some kind of alien, you know? I concentrated on a bit. It's like an inch across, maybe 2 inches tops. Tiny, tiny little thing. And I don't know what it's doing with its hands there, but it reminds me of that like fake sign language woman who started like, you know, invading like press conferences and signing incorrectly. That's what this guy seems to be doing right here. Just like, yeah. But this is the coup de grace right here. A rare creature called a hairy frogfish. They're not easy to find. My guide, this amazing guy, Alex Salboro, was able to find them. This was my last dive in the Philippines. Was able to see him. And look at him, just watch this guy walking across, like just moving. Just trying to get real close to just kind of see how it moves. And crazy looking fish, right? That's a frogfish, just like that other one, because it, you know, I guess it eats things with its tongue. Yeah, look at that eye. He hung out for a while. He was moving around a ton, and I was having issues with my camera, but I still got a couple of pretty good shots with it. You know, he just kept moving, and he kept moving towards me because the shrimp were attracted to the light, and he was trying to eat the shrimp. Can't wait to see him again. Look, he was checking out this little crustacean, and then nope, that's not lunch. And he kept moving on, and moving on, and moving on. It was awesome. This thing was attracted by the light and started flipping around. I don't know what it is, but it looks amazing. This is like my last day down there in Darwin, checking out a local market, walking around, seeing all the fruits and veggies and stuff that they have there. You can get a lot of different things out there, but I didn't do a lot of shopping because that's not what I do. This is how you get around out there a lot, and these little kind of tuk-tuks, you know, these little taxis. You just hop in, and it's just a motorcycle with this attachment on it. And this is the bus I rode to get up to the city, you know, and this is just the craziest bus driver driving like an absolute freaking madman you can see. There's no shocks on this thing, I think, man. It was like a roller coaster ride / bus ride. When you see what's happening with the drapes there and everything, I had never been on any kind of bus journey like this before in my life. I mean, it was wild. But then I got into Japan, and oh my God, Japan was amazing. I had Wagyu beef for breakfast. I got it at this market. Then I took a walk down to this other part, kind of a touristy district, but I went there because of the spa. And then I took off and got myself some sushi at this amazing sushi place where, you know, they didn't really speak English, but I do know how to say one thing in Japanese, and it's watashi wa nihongo ga wakarimasen, which means I don't speak Japanese. And as long as I would say that, kind of all was forgiven. They'd be like, okay, he's making an effort. And so through the help of Google Translate and a little bit of English that they know, I was able to have a fantastic sushi meal with this great sushi chef and his sous chef, and they really treated me great. I was the only customer in there because it was like at 2:30 in the afternoon during the changeover for dinner, and yeah, and that was just on like a 12-hour layover to the States from the Philippines. Overall, it was a really fantastic trip. Like I love the Philippines. The people are the nicest. The diving is the best I've ever had. It's not overly expensive. Like it's pretty reasonably priced. It's not dirt cheap, but it's really reasonably priced. And I can't wait to go back. I had a blast. Philippines, you were amazing. I can't wait to see you again. Some of you wanted to know what I was up to. That was it. I'm doing this from Colombia. This is Medellin. Those hills are the Medellin Mountains in the background there. So I hope you all enjoyed this. If anybody knows what those fish were, let me know. Because I should know, but I don't. Because I guess I've been too lazy about that stuff. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you watched it all the way through and you made it all the way to the end. I imagine it's maybe just my mom and a couple of friends watching at this point. But anyhow, that's what I've been up to. And now you kind of have an idea of why I love the Philippines so much. And I can't wait to go back.